Let's try. Okay, so this inner face, as you can see me. Hello. I'll try the microphone. Alright, testing for microphone. And lighting. So I can do this on a regular basis. Yep, that's my food. I keep forgetting. And my food. Alright. Test. Microphone, yes. I don't know if this is my right volume, so I'm just gonna try a different volume. This is a bit closer, but I don't want you guys to see it. It's like weird. Like, how can I position this where you cannot see it, but you can still hear me? Test. Hello. I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can. Hopefully. Because this did not work on my phone. Supposedly it's supposed to work. It's for your phone too, but I don't know, just trying. Maybe if I keep my voice, like, at a certain level. La 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 la. It is definitely Libra Mercury retrograde season, because this is a time to reflect and improve your communication skill. Because most of us are not that good at it. I'm still working on it. It's still like a working process, so especially dealing with my internal struggles and aggressions. So yeah, it's a working progress. It's a process, So there you go. This is a month to learn how communication is also a process. As you see me behind the scenes of how this is gonna start going from now on, which I'm kind of excited. And also I have new things that I'm working on writing about, and yeah, it's just gonna be a very exciting couple of months until 2022. So that's my food. Okay, so test. Hopefully the sound works. Okay, now we go to the back. Try test 2 with different lighting. Obviously gonna have candles and stuff. But okay. So sound worked. For test work. See? Test, try different things that works for you, okay? Try different ways that you can find your own rhythm, your own wavelength or frequency. Like each of us have our own love frequency and our own path and our own things that we need to work on and need to do. Okay, so let's see if I talk maybe a little bit higher and more. Like you can see, that's something that I'm heavily working on these days is my throat chakra. And it's very hard because communication is his own consciousness, right? So I'm learning to navigate that, even though I'm very communicative, very I can express myself and stuff like that. Like I don't have a problem with that. I've been building my confidence, still working on it. I still get insecure and stuff like that, but it's a working process, this new earth and living the life that, working to fulfillment, to alignment and enlightenment. So far for me, this feels right. It feels like good because I can help people heal, but also be an educator at the same time in terms of also co-creating with the universe and God and stuff like that, but also being an advocate for the 3D reality that we're currently living. So that's something that I'm kind of working on. Anyways, this was just I just wanted to show you the behind the scenes a little bit and what it entails. Like today I wasn't planning on recording, actually. See, I'm still going because this is supposed to be a test, but I'm just going with the flow. Like, I'm no longer in that state of mind anymore of like the fear and being perfect and all these things. Like, I'm working on that, and it's very, very difficult. But also I'm understanding that still my food in the microwave. Understanding that also we're not meant to be perfect. We're not meant to be we're meant to just grow in different ways, find our inner truth and inner guidance and stuff like that. And then once you find that, you're feeling good, that you're being of service to others, being good with your, like, things are balanced with your life, and you have found that way of, like, self-discipline, budgeting, balancing your life and stuff like that. It's good to share this kind of moment so that you can inspire others to kind of ignite their own inner truth, right? Their own inner co-creative inner selves, right? Because when, we're kind of conditioned and programmed to be kind of silent and dormant and repress our emotions and not really deal with our shadow selves and life, it's always like positive and stuff like that. And the world is not really everything is positive, not this like Disney World illusion land that we have been kind of conditioned to believe and then omit and, kind of cover up the lies and manipulation and controlling and abusive tactics of the system that we're currently living in. And now we're kind of educating kids again to live that cycle that already passed. Like, that's something that this month is requiring, is finding that balance, but also reflect on past communications, past things that has happened, reflect on things that your growth also, like if you have a journal, you have written all the things that you've accomplished this year, look back to those things. Okay. Wow, I wasn't planning to talk about this, but I'm just going with the flow right now. And also because my daughters are coming soon, and also I have a limited time, have to go get stuff. Like, life, everything, finding balance and being consistent and stuff like that, it takes time and lots of work, okay? And also, it's very difficult to understand this, but I know that a lot of people, I hope it resonates with you. Rest is productive. Repeat this, okay, with me. Rest is productive. It's okay for me to rest. Okay, this is a month of that as well. I find like Libra, it's all about justice. So I wrote down a few things of how new moons are for new, new intentions, but also this is a time for rest, a time for taking out and reflect, and but also I find like the Libra season also brings this kind of stability, right? Kind of like, okay, let me find this balance and stability. So I wrote that in my monthly. Today is a Sunday, so this is a timeless reading because it's also has some educational in it about, I'm going to go for different topics and then we're going to go into pick up your card reading, okay? But I know that most psychic tarots and oracles, which I'm so grateful for all of them for their work and what they've accomplished. So I'm going to start doing that too. Like all the tarot readers that any of the readings resonate with me, I'm going to leave it on the description below so you can check them out and perhaps their reading can actually also resonate with you, okay? It's something kind of that I've been thinking, like, why not collaborate and create? Which is also another thing about this month of October, the Libra season, especially the new moon, is about co-creating, collaboration. So, I encourage other people to, look into the ways of how to co-create with others, okay? How to collaborate in partnerships. Like, that's definitely something that I see into this time, yeah. So I put already, because I've been getting lots of downloads I'm also, going inwards doing the shadow work, but also healing from and praying for other people, other loved ones, friends that are going through a difficult time that I know of, and taking that time to make sure spiritually that they're feeling good and they're not pain and suffering, especially dealing with grief and mourning. I think when those times happened, or atrocities or something happened in the world or anywhere, this is a time to take a step back and make sure that you are there for those people, community or something. And anything can be okay, like a soothing message, a prayer, saying good things, lighting up a candle for that person that it doesn't necessarily have to deal with you. It's just the kindness of acknowledging and understanding and being there for that person, even if you're far away. Like, even if you're far away, you can still be there for that community or the people or that person. Okay, so that's something that I want to put out there. So yeah, new moon in Libra, it's about relationships as well. So yeah, what kind of care do you need? What do you reflect? So yeah, what have you neglected lately? And either we'll try to get back to self-care as vital, right? When you're resting and taking a rest and practicing that self-care for yourself, or moments of stillness, moments of kind of integrating what happened during your time, your life, but also what you're expecting to, what you want to do within, without taking away the judgment and the comparing and intense overthinking and overwhelming, to kind of sit and with yourself and plan your goals on your week or your days, or what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to improve? So my month for me is improving communication, and that's something that I'm like, okay, let's try to see if we can be consistent with our divine downloads and messages, because sometimes I receive so many that it's so hard, so I just write them down, but now I have so many, I need to go back at my own pace, but also finding that stability and balance, and also dealing with external things and oppressive systems, and it's not that simple. It's not that easy. For some it might be, their lifetime data will never have to struggle certain things, but that again is what inequality systems is all about, and especially oppression. That's something that I'm working on also. I'm writing a book about it, about how I'm literally surviving, being a single mother and oppression, right? And dealing with oppression. And then also witnessing my community and other people, indigenous communities, black communities as well, during the time of the pandemic, how they were able to, overcome certain things. And we together overcame over certain aspects that a lot of people will not understand, because it just happens behind the scenes, right? And how we cope mentally, how we deal with that in a mental state, right, in a mental health way, and how spirituality also has helped, with advocacy and activism and stuff like that, and spiritual activism, and learning about healing oneself and knowing thyself, and understanding decolonization more. But now I really want to integrate my soul tribe, a community of indigenous BIPOC communities, and the sustainability realm, and the higher consciousness realm, so that we can actually create kind of mutual aid funds and within this community, so that we can actually build equity, because we need to. Circular economy, it's not something that it's far off, it's actually something that it needs to be doing now. I still don't know. So if you have any ideas of circular economy, anybody, people who are doing equity, I'm still reaching some people, because I do want to eventually bring them into the podcast and write about their stories and stuff like that, so that we can learn from them, that we can actually understand how can we build this without the external need of what we know that is toxic and it needs to change and stop. Either they change their ways or change how they're operating, or we change ourselves and not rule, but we will all build that equity and equalizing or human rights or needs, and making sure that everyone's needs are met, right? All right, sorry about that. As usual, Mercury retrograde. Let's embrace it. So yeah, my battery died and I just charged it, but it died. My phone hasn't been able to, every time I film something, it just doesn't work, and it's just, it is what it is. So for all of y'all creators and people who do YouTube and are active on social media, are educators and stuff like that, and are also creative, and if things are not working out for you, it's okay. We have 6 or 7 planets in retrograde, okay, and we are still in retrograde until October 18th, okay. So just go with the flow, embrace that that kind of shift, okay. So yeah, after I was like, you know what, okay, I have another battery. I had already charged because I planned that this might actually happen. You see, so have that expectation, not for the future, because that also creates anxiety, but have this kind of like mindset where you are okay with things not going your way, when things are not planned, when things messed up. Or you make a mistake. You're human. We are here to experience that human experience, because we already are divine and godly and stuff like that. It's just that we have been conditioned and programmed to forget all of that, and that getting back into oneself and healing, ancestral healing, and doing the shadow work and going to your spiritual awakening and ascension, and really diving into what your true path is, but also help others at the same time, so we can all collectively live this a life of abundance and peace and love and fulfillment and alignment. Everyone deserves this, what we all, some of us enjoy and have the privilege of, right? And that too, what can you do with that privilege, right? Like once you know that you have this kind of like, fulfillment and kind of, feel good, extend that grace to other people, be that beacon of light for others, so that they also can find that light that you have discover for yourself. So in a way, kind of like create empathy that you do for yourself, but also extend that grace to others, right? And to your families and stuff like that, and your communities and friends, okay? We are all here as one, as we're here to create unity and one. And so that's my advice for everybody. What else has happened? So yeah, what I was saying before I got cut off, that's who I went and I said, okay, let me put on some lipstick so I can make myself feel good and I don't feel kind of down kind of thing. Later I'm gonna turn on some candles, so can do some meditation, which I already did a little bit with my prayers and yoga, but I like to do meditation before I get into my readings and talk to my ancestors and my angels and divine, and talk to God and stuff like that, and see what the messages that they want to deliver. So I continue being authentic as I want to be in this channel, and then also in Brighter Side community as well. Yeah, we just released a new article for October 21st. I have a few more that I'm gonna go work on it, and I'll be releasing it soon, but if the link's in the description below. Thank you for liking, following, and subscribing, and leaving me your comments. I love to read the comments of people that these messages resonate, and also I love receiving your messages that you sent me. So thank you so much, those who support this community, this channel, as you comment and share with others, and this community grows, and also other people are able to see the content that I provide here. Other than that too, I definitely need to advise this. I will put it in my description below, but I think it's a good thing to kind of say this. Do understand that whenever we do card readings, or we do psychic readings or predictions or future things, that it's kind of like you
have to do use discernment. Okay, so for certain parts of certain aspect of what I say, or the guidance that the angels give you, or the ancestors, or the universe, you know, it's not all sometimes related to you. Okay, it could be related to somebody else. So it's good to listen to your intuition whenever. Also, that too, I encourage for you to look at other card readers, other psychic readings, and other mediums as well, because that way you learn from them how to use discernment with certain messages and certain things. Like recently, I've been learning that some card readers I do resonate, and some I don't, and that's okay. That's part of the experience, right? And that too, but it does not mean that if it doesn't resonate with you, or they trigger you, or something like that, or you know, you're not, they didn't do the right card reading or stuff like that. Like, try to understand that some people you're not gonna vibe with vibrationally, right? You're not gonna align vibrationally. And it's not something that, you know, you need to judge or shame or anything like that. Not only for yourself. I think I have a hair in my mouth. Yeah, I had a hair in my mouth. Okay. So yeah, no shame, no hate, no nothing of that. And that too, you know, letting go of fears, of the things, of the limited beliefs and stuff like that, that is, you know, being put into us from infancy. It takes time. It takes lots of healing and lots of inner work, and lots of not seeking the external validation, not getting distracted. So yeah, so that's something that I definitely being called to put out there, you know, send some good healing of communication, third chakra. Definitely have some advices in terms of rocks. Where is it? Anything blue. There you go. So anything blue. So this one could be good to have with you, lapis lazuli, especially if you're working on, you know, and that too is like meditation, praying. That's what my spirits are saying. Anything, and hold blue rock. Anything lapis lazuli. There's aquamarine. There is aquamarine. There's also rhodolite. I don't know if you can see it. Some of the card reading. Yeah, anything that it can bring you, that can help you open your third chakra. Yeah, absolutely. That's something that I'm getting a lot. So if you're working, especially if you're working, oh, you see? This one popped out. Yeah, rhodolite. It's not really blue, but it does have this like bluish tinting things. I think that's what it's called. Wait a second. I have it here. The pedolite is this pinkish one. Yeah, sapphire. Sapphire, blue sapphire is good. Yeah, but this one, it's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me. Because this one I had it for a while now, and it's very, especially when I do meditation, this one's very, very good. I'm pretty sure it has to be, because this is lepidolite, or the other, lepidolite has this like pinkish color. Anyway, so get back to me, but this one is really good. It's very, very good. So yeah, it's all about that, healing the communication, healing the stuff. So, you know, things that reflect, work on things that we need to kind of deal on a kind of regular basis in a way. Okay, so that's one that I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So I wrote a few things to see when I ever get downloads. I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this. All right. So yeah, so that's why another thing is where I'm kind of like in a different shifting way, because I get a lot of feedback also from people that tell me that. One second. Okay, yes, watch out for telemarketers and all these companies and stuff like that. Like, they're going ham. Yes, this is another thing. Use discernment and stay awakened. These systems are very good at psychologically abusing and manipulating and controlling you with anything, really. So that's why you have to use your intuition. That too, you see, Mercury retrograde. I had the other video that I was talking without the microphone. The microphone was on the floor. So you see, just go with the flow. Okay, so yeah, what I was saying is that the Real Talk is going to have that educational kind of space, kind of time. So that too is like, if you don't feel like listening to this, you can just skip it and go into your reading. That's not a problem. But also this is a chance where I get to kind of, in a way, educate others and, about my spiritual lessons, spiritual awakening and stuff like that. Not in the sense to, change people and stuff like that, but it's just, I want to make you think. I want you to be aware of everything. And this is what enlightenment really means, is that you are, and also that true consciousness is that you are aware and understand not only your own internal struggles, but also other people's struggles, other people's pains, and see how, in a way, you can also help out. Okay, it's really that, and that's what it comes into, and that's what I'm realizing now as I'm doing the writing and healing internally, is that true consciousness is that recognizing that, but also finding ways of you creating that empathy that we have never been taught, that it does not exist in a system and anything. And that too is like, we are conditioned and programmed to be apathetic, like not, it's not my problem, or no ignorance, or completely disregard of other people's struggles and pains because it makes us uncomfortable or it doesn't affect us. And I find that so toxic, and this is where the root of this mental tormenting of us, and then also when we can't deal with that pain and struggle, we project it onto others, these unhealed traumas and things, and we just go and that's what we do. And then the whole system also kind of like embraces it and encourages it, which is kind of like, right? So going through your spiritual awakening and being woke, it's not something that is just like, oh, that's so nice, it feels so great. No, it's actually really fucked up in a good way too, because you learn, you go through the really painful struggle stuff, that, and then you understand also how, in the BIPOC community and people, and how these systems are completely like just toxic and oblivious and so oppressive and abusive, and that is colonialism. And we still think that has been, no, has evolved. And what I think is that that's where we need to acknowledge and be aware of that. Okay, accept it and heal that aspect, and then we'll be able to shift into a different perspective, and also shift into decolonization and build sustainability and build circular economy and create equity and mutual funds. Like, it has to have this kind of flow and process that it must be done as one unity. That's why it's so hard for us to do this, because, and they know this, the system knows this, because we don't work on that healthier communication, that healthier and real authentic connections, right? We live in a world that it's okay to be fake and lie and be so egocentric, materialistic, and not really be true to ourselves, because we must be what this certain condition or societal conditioning or whatever needs to be, so that you can be accepted and validated, even though you already are accepted, validated by just existing on this planet. Your own souls and energy is so valuable that we think that it's not good enough or it's not worth enough because we compare ourselves to others. We judge ourselves or we judge others. Like, we have all this low vibrational negativity. See? Oh, that's a confirmation. Selenite. Selenite, that too. Have selenite with you to protect yourself. Have like little bracelets or things like this, especially if you're very intuitive and spiritually, and also that too when you're going through your spiritual awakening, going through the ego death. This is important to co-create and let healing crystal heal you and help you in that process. They are very friendly and lovely. And